Hello guys, the first couple times I played this game, I was completely overwhelmed by Wanzer choices and build options, because theoretically you can pretty much mix and match any part with any other, which results in a lot of permutations and combinations, theoretically. So one of the first things I did was to come up with some simple, uncomplicated builds that are nevertheless effective. Something I don't have to think about when I replay the game. Something I can use as a starting point and optimize as required for that particular playthrough. So in this video, this is what I'd like to share. A minimum viable product, let's call it, that you can use as a baseline to experiment with, or something that will effectively get you through the game if you don't want to spend time on Wanzer building. Mind you, experimenting around with different setups is like half the fun in the game, so hopefully you're planning to do that in a future playthrough. So basically this video is for players that are new and are unfamiliar with Front Mission 3 or the Front Mission franchise in general. It is not intended as a general purpose build guide, but rather a prescription of certain builds that you can use out of the box. Okay, so the first thing to recognize is that although each Wanzer has certain unique characteristics, there are many shared properties that we can identify and use to classify the Wanzers broadly into 4 different categories. The categories are Striker. This build primarily uses melee weapons. Assault. This build primarily uses burst weapons. Burst weapons are shotgun, machine gun, and flamethrower. Gunner. This build primarily uses sniper rifles. And finally, Launcher. This build primarily uses missiles and grenades. There are some exceptions, but for the sake of simplicity, let's just ignore them. Basically, those exceptions fall in between categories, so it's up to you to decide what you want to use them as. More often than not, you'll find Wanzer parts for each of these categories in every Wanzer shop. So let's take a look at the Wanzer parts themselves, starting with body. Striker bodies will usually have exactly 206 power. There are a couple exceptions, but like I said before, let's ignore them. As you can see, the Zenith level that we start off with is an exception. It has 231 power. They also have the highest HP. Assault bodies will have exactly 254 power, but a little lower HP than Striker bodies. Gunner is not available in the shop. Yeah, Gunner bodies will have 269 power and even lower HP than the Assaults. And finally, Launcher body will have 344 power and the least HP of the lot. So as you can see, there's a pattern here. It's essentially a trade-off between power output and HP. If you want to be able to equip heavy weapons, you have to sacrifice body HP. That's how it goes. And body HP is unarguably the most important of the 4 HP values, because you lose the body, you lose a unit from the battle. There is a similar trade-off applicable for arms and legs as well. So Striker arm will have accuracy of 5%, but a lot of HP. It also has the least weight, so this has got a weight of 36, HP 292, accuracy 5%. Assault, Kyojin and Junior are both assaults. They'll have an accuracy of 10%, slightly more weight than a Striker, and slightly less HP. Not slightly, actually significantly less HP than Striker arms. Gunner arm will have 14% HP, but it's also the heaviest at 51, and it has the least amount of HP. And the Launcher arm has 12% accuracy, mid-weight in between Assault and Gunner, and the HP is also HP of Gunner and Launcher are comparable, but both of them are very fragile. So as you can see in the case of arms, the trade-off is between accuracy on the one hand and weight and HP on the other hand. Let's take a look at the legs. Same goes for right arm, but we'll come to that. So striker legs, what you want to watch out for is movement. Striker legs will have a movement of 6, but they also weigh the most and have the highest HP. Assault legs and the gunner legs this is a gunner part and this is an assault part. They'll usually have a movement of 3. In terms of legs, assault and gunner are quite comparable. A movement of 3, they weigh somewhere in the middle and have also the HP somewhere in the middle. And launcher legs have a pathetic movement of 2. So they have the least movement, but consequentially they also have the least weight, but the least HP. Launcher and gunner parts in general have a horribly low HP, very fragile things, so gotta keep that in mind. So as you can see in the case of legs, the trade-off is between movement on one hand and weight and HP on the other hand. So this categorization method was most helpful for me in organizing my thoughts about Wanzer build options. Speaking of build options, here are my prescriptions for beginner setups. Note that similar to Wanzer categories, it is really helpful to think of setup categories in the same way. Let's start with a striker build. So you want to go with Zenislav body, Kesel left arm, Kesel right arm, and Kesel legs. Backpack, I would recommend power backpack. The best knuckle weapon you can purchase on the left arm, shield on the right arm. And make sure you got the latest computers. Right now we only have COM4s. So that's my recommendation for a striker build. Right now we only have COM4s available, but just straight up upgrade to COM5 and COM6 once they become available. Don't go for the special computers. And fill up the computer with tackle 1 skill. So here's a montage of how this build plays. For assault build, Kyojun body, Kyojun left arm, Keiso right arm, and Keiso legs. Backpack as usual, power backpack. Weapon, equip your burst weapon of choice on the left hand. So if you want to go for a shotgun or a machine gun, I would not recommend flamethrowers for beginners at least. And shield on the right arm. As usual, buy the latest computer and fill it up with the ROFUP 1 skills. So here's how this build plays out. For gunner build, Wanzer parts are same as assault. Kyojun body, Kyojun left arm, Kesel right arm, Kesel legs. Power backpack, and the latest sniper weapon, sniper rifle, and shield on the right arm. Latest computer, and fill it up with Zoom 1 skills, which you'll learn as you progress through the game. Here's how this build plays out. And finally, for the launcher build, this will vary a bit depending on whether you're playing Elisa's story or Emma's story, but either way use the part that they start out with. So here in Elisa's story, Melodyne body, Melodyne left arm, Kesel right arm, and Kesel legs. Now, if you're playing Emma's story, instead of Melodyne paths, it will be Drake paths. Missile launcher on the left shoulder, shield on the right hand. Oops. And in this case, you want item backpack. Actually, already got item backpack, and you want to fill it with at least one missile reload, because this is the only weapon that's going to use ammo after all. Yeah, latest computer, and fill it up with panic shot. I managed to learn skill +1, but you're probably not going to learn skill +1 unless you've got the Melodyne leg equipped, which I would not recommend considering it's only got 2 movement. Here's how this build will play out. If you want to, you don't need to change these builds for pretty much the entire game. Just make sure to buy all the upgrades once they're available, as soon as they're available. HP upgrade. I'm not gonna have the money. DCM upgrade. If you know what DCM is and what DCM to use, go for it. But otherwise, I would say don't bother with DCM upgrades. Accuracy upgrade. Don't bother accuracy upgrade on the right arm. And evasion upgrade and booster upgrade for the legs. Also, whenever there's a new shop available, make sure to keep your weapons upgraded. This should be obvious. Weapons and shield upgraded, as well as the backpack if you're going for a power backpack. I would recommend always using a power backpack, always using the latest power backpack, which will give more and more additional power. But if you want to play it safe, use the basic 4 capacity item backpack and fill it with repairs. But the caveat here is that you probably won't get away with it for later in the game for anyone except the striker, because weapons are going to get heavier, shields are going to get heavier, so you might have to sacrifice a shield if you want to keep using an item backpack. Obviously you want an item backpack with a launcher build to keep missile reloads. Which character you want to make into a striker, assault, gunner or launcher is a decision I leave up to you, but here is my suggestion. If you want to absolutely steamroll through the game, make everyone into assaults. That's basically what we do in the speedrun. This is the most effective general purpose build. If you want a bit more variety, use a couple strikers and a couple assaults, and throw in a launcher if you want some utility. I would recommend against using snipers, especially since using this build suggestion, you'll stop activating zoom halfway through the game. So already the bad DPS of snipers is gonna get reduced even further. The real utility in snipers is the fact that like long range attacks with infinite ammo. But I would say avoid it for beginners. If you're really interested in challenging yourself, check out my sniper only playthrough, where I've documented some of the different setups I've used in the descriptions of those videos. If you really want to go that route and you're not sure how exactly to handle it. So I think that's pretty much all I had to say for a beginner level discussion. Hope you found this informative. Thanks for watching.